Oh, the suspense. The suspense. And in case anyone needs it, whenever we're listening to a piece and you have time like this when the artist is getting ready or getting their words ready, it's always helpful to take a breath in, slow breath out, and make sure that anything else you're thinking about, you kind of let it go out your mind, and that you put all your focus and tension on the person's story. Because their story might change your life, it might spark something else for you, it might bring peace of mind. You never know. So that's the beauty of really cleansing out your mind and not giving in to the anxiety or like the frustration of like, oh, where's the poem at? I just want to hear the poem, or like anything rushing. You don't need that kind of rushing world here in poetry. All right, people. All right, just making sure everyone's on the same page. All right. Yeah. Ready, Kun? All right.
What if you were, or you are, a tiny ant suddenly trapped in a tiny hole, buried in the ground, suddenly cut from all other ants? And what if you are a farmer ant, not a minor ant, nor a burrowing ant, and so you don't have drills to dig yourself out of this hellhole as the earth starts collapsing around you. Your little abdomen starts feeling tight. Your petiole is ready for attack in case any intruder makes it worse. You are shaking your ocelli in frustration at your predicament. But then you suddenly remember the wise lesson of your queen ant while growing up. As you remember this lesson, your legs that were noodles before now become more like nail clippers, ready for action, ready for the next decision. Your antenna is wide open. Suddenly, you sense a strange yet familiar signal. The signal is both message and the bridge to your next destination. To change into a burrowing ant, it contains the biochemical compounds your body needs to change into a burrowing ant. Your body is small enough, flexible enough, designed to cooperate enough to change quickly. The nick of time. You change and dig yourself out. You were brought the help you needed because you were open to the perfect harmony of your entire ecosystem.
What?
But it and your fellow ants needed you too. Yeah. So nobody saved anyone, just a perfect harmony of openness.
What? Oh my God, give some hearts and love for Kunning for sharing that piece. Thank you. How do you feel? How do you feel after sharing that and reading it out loud now?
I feel great. I feel much better reading it out loud. I feel even more of the openness that I wrote when I read it out loud. I felt more of the emotions.
Yeah. And when's the last time? Oh wait, say that one more time.
So I felt through the journey of the ant, and I felt like I was the ant going.
Oh my God. Okay, that's great. That's great to hear that. Yeah, I was going to make a comment about that later, but how did you like in terms of even the pace that you went and things like that, and the journey that you felt with the ant? It's something where like even when you wrote that in your mind and how it came out just now, was there any differences? Yeah, what kind of differences were there actually? I'm just curious about that.
I think as I was reading it, I slowed it down a bit more. So, like in terms of line breaks, if I were to rewrite it according to what I read, there
Yeah.
might be even more line breaks,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because it's something always that I love for people to think about too. Is that when you're writing a poem, sometimes when you say it'll come out differently than when you meant and how you wrote it. You know, and seeing the differences of how certain poems are. They say some people say they're meant to be spoken, right? And then there's that people say that there's some poems that are meant to be read and not spoken. So it's really interesting to always try to find that balance between knowing if you want this poem to be read a certain way and the line breaks you would use, right? Or when you want a poem to be spoken out loud and the different types of line breaks you would use for it to be spoken out loud. You know what I mean? And there's no right or wrong with this. There's no laws about poetry in that sense. There's guidelines. There's people that suggest you do certain things a certain way. But even then, it's so much of it is open to that interpretation. And thank you again for even sharing the kind of thinking of an ant and what it must be like, or if ants had brains that like we could relate to and connect with. I always appreciate that kind of writing that we don't normally think of a different species in what we're writing about. And it's really wonderful to even hear that. So thank you again for that. Anything else you want to share about your piece?
I also wanted to say that besides the quote, I was inspired to write this because I recently learned little known science about ants that
Yeah.
even though ants are so specialized, they can change their specialization in an emergency. When, yeah, and then they get signals from the other ants to change their specialization.
Oh, it's so deep. Oh gosh, that's so deep. Okay. All right. Thank you yet again for blowing my mind, Kundan. And please have a good one, man. Welcome back. Welcome back anytime. All right.
All right, bye. Have a great day.
You too, man. Thank you. And also the one other thing I'll share is that yeah, the kind of beauty of it to write a piece like that and write these kind of poems that y'all are writing and really connect it with new information that maybe you're finding out about or you're learning about. That's also a helpful tool for you to remember new information or new stories or something you really want to remember. You know what I mean? So if you're learning about quantum physics right now or something, and you break down some poems in quantum about quantum physics, please share them. Please let me know when you post those because that would be amazing.